Well, the first full season of Trapping Time has come to an end, and the response by you, the viewers, was overwhelming. This week, we're going to show you some of the highlights of that first season, and we're going to answer some questions from you, the viewers. This is Trapping Time. Trapping, an art form that has stood the test of time. A heritage built upon hard work, dedication, and pride. Rooted deep with the main goal of conservation, we, as trappers, live this history 365 days a year. With the help of some great friends, along with the love and support of my family, I'm carrying on that tradition. With all the pitfalls that I may encounter, the rewards more than outweigh the costs. Many of the greatest trappers in history have etched their name in time. This is my story. This is my time. This is Trapping Time.
Trapping Time is brought to you by Vapple at vappleproducts.com, Jeb's Chokes at jebschokes.com, Blind Turtle at blindturtle.net, Smokey's Deer Lures at smokiesdeerlore.com, Blackwater Hunting Services at blackwaterhunting.com, Southern Ohio Outfitters at southernohiooutfitters.com, Popio Creek Trapping Supply at popioCreekTrappingSupply.com, Big Game Gut Glove at biggamegutglove.com, Hunters Help Technologies at huntershelp.com, Night Owl Lures at nightowllures.com, Hilltop Outdoor Supply at hilltopoutdoorsupply.com, Dakota Line Snares at dakotalinesnares.com, PCS Outdoors at pcsoutdoors.com, Duke Trap Company at duketraps.com, Deep South Trapping Lures at deepsouthlures.com, Webster's Predator Control at shop.websterspredatorcontrol.com, Little Whiskey Girl at littlewhiskeygirl.com, Wolf Creek Products at wolfcreekproducts.net, Southern Snares and Supply at southernsnares.com, and Console Energy at consoleenergy.com.
You know, one of the most asked questions we receive is, how and why did we start the show? You know, Carter Taylor from West Virginia, he asked me that same question. Well, you know, we've been in the outdoor industry for about 7 years now. Our deer show, Game on TV, has been a hit on the deer and turkey side for many years. Well, a few years back, we started a segment called Trapping Time, and the response to it was overwhelming. And we thought, you know what, the demand's there, let's put this show on full time. You know, trapping is a lost art. You know, we felt that it was time that trapping was in mainstream television. You know, when I was growing up and started trapping, the only way you were going to get information was from a book. So our goal was, we're going to bring to life the pages of that book to your living room every week. You know, our goal was, we wanted a television show that was entertaining yet informative. We wanted to present the image that, hey, that's a guy there that I could get to know, and I'd love to be on the trap line with him.
Well, we got a heavy snow last night, and this is a prime example of why you got to keep these traps firing. This dog came in and we caught it on the hind foot here. And basically all we've been doing is, this has been a dirt hole set that's just been kicking like crazy. This is the third fox we've actually taken out of this set. Now, we have another dirt hole.
We'll stop you. You said it's the third fox we killed. There we go. Just started over. Back on you.
We call this a blonde fox.
One way we thought we'd bring information directly to your living room was the set of the week. You know, with the set of the week, we had 13 episodes. And each one of those episodes, we were bringing you a set, whether it be for coon, bobcat, coyotes, muskrats, beaver, otter. We were bringing you a set from somewhere else in the country.
Oh, that's a lot of work for a beaver. That's a nice one. We'll take them. And we'll show you how we get this set back in.
There's no foot damage on these animals. We don't have to use these traps. Got a big shock spring. So I had him on a drag, but now that he got time to even see the drag, he went around up a little tree a couple of times. I don't know where the drag's at. He didn't go very far, so my set's kind of messed up. But Just had a dirt hole with some bait down it, some fella. I've been trying to catch cats here, but all I can catch is gray fox. We'll take it.
You know, I'm fortunate enough that I live in an area where I can trap 3 states, you know, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. I can trap them all in the same day. But it was nice to see, if I ever decided to go to Mississippi, how Justin Rogers and those guys down there, they're trapping bobcats. Or, you know, John Chagnon in the upper UP, how he's trapping otters. You know, that's not something I'm used to, but if I can put that into my bag of tricks, it's going to make me a better trapper if I do decide to hit some of these other states. When we come back, I'm going to show you some of my favorite highlights from season 1. You're watching Trapping Time. The Graduating Auger by Papio Creek. It's another tool that helps you put paws on your pan. Go check it out at PapioCreekTrappingSupply.com.
What do you demand in a quality knife? You want a knife that works as hard as you do. Weeby knives are made for trappers who want efficiency and perfection. The Weeby Elite double-edged fleshing knife has one edge that's ultra sharp, and the other side has just the right edge for pushing fat and meat for perfectly fleshed furs. And don't forget about the Weeby Wicked Sharp, the planet's sharpest skinner. When the blade goes dull, simply snap on a new one, you're ready to go. Find them at DakotaLineSnares.com.
The Big Game Gut Glove is revolutionizing the way big game hunters and trappers are successful in the field. The 26-inch version fits over your elbows and protects you and your expensive hunting clothing from blood or cold water. They're made to fit your hands from extra small to extra large.
What I like about them, I can feel with them.
Existing products on the market don't give you the feel or protection you need. Wet or dry, the special non-slip grip bonds tightly to whatever you're handling. The Big Game Gut Gloves are reusable so you save money and promote going green.
Welcome back. Now, as everybody knows, I'm a die-hard coyote trapper. It's just in my blood. There's something about catching those canines that really gets me fired up. And one of my favorite catches from last season was when I had my 8-year-old daughter Peyton out checking the line with me on a day she was supposed to be sick at school. You know, to have her out there in the outdoors with me is just something that's really, really special. You know, she's taken a couple turkeys, she deer hunts with me, and be able to open the door to the trapping industry to her, it's something that makes me feel really good. But you know, just the look in her eyes as we're walking up to this coyote, you know, which it's only a mile or so from my house, you know, she passes us every day, but to be able to walk close to, you know, contact with a coyote at her age, that's just something that kids at her age just don't get to see every day. But you know, I caught so much grief from the viewers. There must be a lot of moms and grandmas watching the show, because I tell you what, they really reamed me good. I heard she was too close to that coyote, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. You know what? She's in the outdoors. I would not put her in any type of danger, but it's good to know that there's a lot of moms and grandmas watching and riding my butt.
It's a pretty special day for me. This young dog looks like he's got a little bit of mange starting, and anytime you can take them out of the gene pool, I mean, there's just getting to be so many coyotes that it's running rampant. But this set here is just your typical Greene County, Pennsylvania set. We don't have the big fields. We've got a decent sized meadow here with a tree line.
Corey Tyler from Indiana wants to know, what tool is it that I use to shape the trap bed? Well, Corey, this is what I call a cookie cutter. You know, for many years, speed plays a big essence in when you want to be a successful coyote trapper. You want to be able to get as many traps out as you can, so you want to be able to punch those sets in effectively and get out. I designed this little thing here. There's a lot of them on the market, but I wanted one that was durable, that could handle my type of trapping and my type of terrain. Now this one here, particular one here, is for a 175, and as everybody knows, that's my trap of choice when I'm out on the line. What this does, when you pound this in the ground, it cuts a perfect trap bed. There's a couple advantages to that. When I put that trap down in there, I don't need to pack dirt back around the jaws. I've got solid dirt. So a lot of times you get refusals with a coyote is when he comes in, he feels that soft dirt, he wants to remove his foot because it doesn't feel right. So with this thing here, when he comes up, he is on solid ground until he gets on what I consider the kill area. Now, as everybody knows, I use straight peat moss when I throw back on my traps. Peat moss is soft, so you're going to get that natural reaction of that softness. So if I'm trying to pack the jaws around here with peat moss, I'm not going to get it packed very good because peat moss is just too fluffy. You can't get a good pack. With the cookie cutter, the trap is perfectly in there. that I don't have to worry about. If he steps anywhere around here, I don't have to worry about a refusal because he's on soft ground. If he refuses, it's probably because of something else I've done. But he can get in here. When he goes to put his foot in here, we've got him. And it's just one of those little tools that I like to use to speed things up, because when I pound this thing in the ground, I already know I'm 2 inches deep, pull out the sod and bed my trap there. I don't have to pack the jaws. I'm in and out.
We want this trap bed to be about the size of the trap. So we come in with our little cookie cutter. Oh, that's nice dirt. Tell you what, everything's been froze up. This is the nicest dirt we've worked in a while. Take and get our trap bed there.
You know, another memorable coyote catch that I had was in Ohio. I was with my buddy Nate, and him and I had a little competition going on for a week or so. And wherever I put a trap, he put a trap. So we were just trying to see. We're very competitive. We've always been that way since college, you know. He kills a big buck, I try to kill one bigger, which doesn't usually happen. But when turkey season rolls around, I'm usually the one putting the birds down. So he's stepping into my game now with the trapping. You know, he's been trapping a few years now, and he's been following me around, and he is a good trapper in his own right. You know, anytime teacher and student can go at it, it's always going to be interesting to watch.
It's funny when you watch the tracks and figure out what's going on. Come right up this road. There's my set right there. Came right up to it. Who knows? Who knows why they hit that, not this? I mean,
I know.
Because you said it. I don't think it's got anything to do with you setting it necessarily. Is maybe. I mean, sometimes I'm hungry for Doritos. Sometimes I'm hungry for a steak. Who knows? Maybe it's the same way with coyotes.
One of the farms that we love to trap, it just really wasn't hitting yet. And we knew we had fronts coming in and everything, and I was spanking him. I mean, everywhere we set traps, you know, I'm hammer down. So we're checking the last trap of the day, and what's down there? This big old yote. I mean, he was solid 40-some pounds, just a really, really good looking coyote. So as we're pulling in, you know, we've got the banner, and, you know, we're going at each other and everything, all in good fun, but I just had to, you know, I had to leave no doubt when it came to the coyote line that year in Ohio. When we come back, we're going to check out some of our most popular episodes, the bobcat. If you're serious about putting paws on your pans, try Fresh Louisiana Crawfish Bait by Papio Creek. Go check them out at PapioCreekTrappingSupply.com.
Do you need a blind that will keep you warm on a cold winter day? Do you need a blind that won't blow away on a windy fall afternoon? Do you need a blind that will never wear out? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need a Blind Turtle hardshell hunting blind. This solid one-piece unit is perfect for deer hunters, turkey hunters, archery hunters, and gun hunters. Put it this way, if you hunt, the Blind Turtle is perfect for you.
Where'd you get all that stuff? DakotaLineSnares.com.
I bet it cost you a fortune to ship all that.
Nope, not DakotaLineSnares.com. It's $9.95. Flat rate, it doesn't matter what you get.
Dakota Line Snares and Trapping Products has everything you need right at your fingertips. Our warehouse is packed with trapping supplies you need to be successful on your trap line, and with flat rate shipping of $9.95 on all orders, you get your money's worth.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm going to put my order in at DakotaLineSnares.com now.
The trophy moment only lasts a couple of seconds, but the story will be passed on for generations. They only see the glory, not the sacrifice. But I don't wait for my tall tale of glory. I handcraft my journey from start to finish. They don't see what goes on behind closed doors. An epic saga is worth 1,000 words, but my story boils down to 3. Little Whiskey Girl. Save luck for the weekend hunter.
Welcome back. You know, when our bobcat episodes air, the ratings are always through the roof. And I feel that's for a couple reasons. You know, in my part of the country, we don't have a lot of bobcats. You know, in Pennsylvania, we're limited to 1 cat, West Virginia 3, Ohio, you know, you've heard me say it before, Ohio, we're allowed none. You know, they're kind of a mysterious animal, an animal that you don't see a lot, but everybody's a little bit intrigued by them. You know, even myself, you know, I've caught numerous bobcats, But every time you catch one, you get up there and you see that spotted belly and that face and just that big blocky body, it's amazing. I mean, you're like in awe.
Now what we did here, we had an old coon carcass, and what I like to do, I like to take him, lay him down, and I'll pile a bunch of brush up on him, because in these states you're not allowed to have any, as I've mentioned before, no bait visible from the air. Now if we look at this big cat I caught here, this is a good specimen of a eastern bobcat. He's well furred out, big cat, big mature cat, and he's not real happy to be in there right now, so he worked out great. We caught a nice red fox here the other day, so we're gonna end up we're gonna dispatch this cat, get him out of here, and then we'll remake the set and see if we can catch something out. And I'll show you how we remake this set after you've caught 2 or 3 animals out of here.
I can catch 100 coyotes, and I catch that one bobcat. I get just that sense of awe, you know, and I think that's one of the reasons why. Another reason why is a lot of our viewers up north, you know, we're not accustomed to trapping them like the guys down south. We have limited knowledge on trapping the same type of terrain. You know, when I got into trapping, there wasn't a lot of information on trapping Western Pennsylvania or even Northern West Virginia. You know, it just wasn't out there. Everything you would read, all the videos and stuff, everything was down south or, you know, out west, you know, and that's a totally different animal than we're dealing with here in the northern parts. So, you know, I think those are a couple of the reasons that the bobcat shows are so exciting and so intriguing to the viewers. Also, I think people just like to see me wrestle these bobcats and see if I can get them out of there without getting my big butt tore up. You know, when you're releasing these bobcats, you know, as you guys seen in earlier episodes, you got to be very careful with them. You know, a bobcat will choke out very easily. And, you know, as trappers, our job is, if we're not going to keep it and harvest it for the fur, we want to release it unharmed. And, you know, we've all heard the horror stories of what traps can do, you know, by the uneducated. You know, as trappers, we make it our responsibility to use the right trap and, you know, do our best effort to leave the animal, you know, as least amount of stress as possible. So, you know, when you catch a non-target animal, and a lot of times, you know, in Pennsylvania, our non-target animals are bobcats early in the season. We just can't keep them. So it's our goal to get these cats out and unharmed. So one of the techniques that you want to do is you want to try to get under a leg. You know, and if you guys seen on the videos, sometimes I struggled. You know, sometimes you'll walk right up there and they'll just lay there and you'll hook them and away they go. And sometimes you'll fight with them and fight with them. You know, you're trying to keep their stress level down because they are a wild animal. You know, we've got them pinned down to 1 foot of chain and you're literally feet away from them. I mean, things can happen. Bad things can happen.
A lot of times they don't even realize they're not in a trap anymore, so it takes them a minute or two. We'll see what he does. If he doesn't run out of here within a minute or two, we'll leave him. We'll come back and remake the set after he leaves. Beautiful animal.
Jim Gordon from Northeast Ohio wants to know what's the best location to set for canines. You know, I'm standing along a fence right now. Anytime you have edges where the woods meets the fields, you know, we've touched upon in earlier episodes about I love gates. I love turns and fences. Anything that catches your eye is a travel corridor for these coyotes. You know, so that's what I would stress on. Anything that I can look that's going to kind of control them and push them and funnel them your way. You know, we know that these coyotes are going to be hunting along this fence line because we've got mice, we've got chipmunks, we've got squirrels, we've got rabbits. They're right along the edge because that's the type of habitat they like. So that's where they're going to be. They're going to be wherever the food's at. So, you know, you want to concentrate on that kind of stuff. You know, coyotes and and foxes, they're just like domestic dogs. You know, they're very social. They want to know what's going on with the other coyotes in areas. So when you get to corners of gates and stumps and, you know, things that really points of interest that stick out, you know, that's when you're going to use your flat sets and your urine post sets because these other canines are curious. They're going to come up there and they're going to check that kind of stuff out. So, you know, that would be the focal points that I would choose when I'm targeting canines. When we come back, we're gonna head to one of my favorite places. We're gonna get in the water on Trapping Time. The Power Clip by Papio Creek. Changing the way you trap water. Go check them out at PapioCreekTrappingSupply.com.
You take every step to make sure your hunt is safe. Now, take safety to the next level and make sure your field dressing is as safe as the hunt. Hunters Help Technologies has found a way to make sure your post-hunt responsibilities are as safe as possible. The Easy Gut tool helps you get the chest cavity open without cutting anything but that skin that you want to cut. The trachea cutter does just what it says. You just reach into the chest cavity and punch right through that tough trachea. No more fumbling with a knife to try to avoid cutting yourself in the process. You can find all our products at huntershelp.com. In 2011, the world of shotgun chokes changed forever. Bobby Sears took his Jeb's Headhunter Precision Choke Tube to the NWTF Wild Turkey Still Target National Championships and brought home the gold. Shortly after, the Game On team got on board. By stacking the shot in front of the wad cup inside the choke tube before it exits your gun barrel, Jebs can extend your effective range way beyond anything you've ever seen. So don't get worked up about a turkey that's just out of range. Ruin his day with a Jeb's Headhunter Choke Tube. Who better to get your trapping supplies from than trappers who know what you need in the field?
Come on in.
PCS Outdoors is one-stop shopping for name brand trapping, predator hunting and calling supplies, shooting and pest control gear at discount prices.
A lure for every animal you'd be targeting.
PCS Outdoors stands above the competition.
Quality Sabo brand snares being made here in Michigan.
Go to PCSOutdoors.com for great selection and prices that'll make you want to stock up for your next trapping or outdoor adventure.
Welcome back. You know, anybody that's watched the show or spent any kind of time with me knows I like to cut up. And one of the ways I like to cut up in the trapping community is ride the water, guys. You know, I always say that we leave the muskrats for the women and children, and, you know, the beavers and the same thing. That is nothing but fun, you know. Any guy that's out there doing it every day, trying to catch beaver, it's hard work. That's one of the reasons I don't like it, is because it takes so much more effort to catch a beaver than it does for me to roll out to a spot and throw in 2 dirt holes to catch a coyote. But this year, I caught one of my biggest water animals ever. I caught a beaver that weighed 62 pounds, and I tell you what, he was a horse. Jeremy Kelch was filming me. We were doing a nuisance job. We were trying to get all these beavers out of this pond for one of the farmers where I trap coyotes, and we were surprised that morning. We rolled up to that 3:30, and that big boy was sitting in that trap.
Anybody that knows me knows I hate trapping these things. There's so much work involved. But, I mean, that beaver is huge. Just totally enormous. I mean, I'm 6'2". That's huge. Absolutely huge.
This beaver was so big when we took it out of that trap, my cameraman decided to get it mounted. Nicholas Crittenden from Alabama asked, what was the first animal you ever caught? Well, Nicholas, it was a raccoon. You know, I've told the story to many people. When I got started trapping, I wanted to trap raccoons. You know, they were plentiful. All my buddies were trapping foxes. You know, my main target was raccoons. You know, and my dad had got me some old Victor square jaws, and looking back on it now, knowing what I know now, those things weren't strong enough to hold a mouse. But fortunately, you know, I went out there with my can of tuna and my number 2 Victor, and the second night out, I ended up catching a coon. And I tell you what, I was a trapper. From that day on, I knew what I wanted to do, and that was trap fur.
I caught this coon here in one of my brush pile sets, which I'm actually using a coon carcass to bait it in. I caught a coyote in this dirt hole the other day, and this corner of this fence is just a natural area for these animals to want to work. And I'll take these coons this size all day long. He's fully primed. He's going to stretch out probably 34, 36 inches. Real good coon. And it just shows that you can use these carcasses to catch some of these animals and just vary up your sets a little bit.
You know, our next question is from Cole Widdop from Pennsylvania. And Cole wants to know, how important do I feel it is to get the youth involved in trapping? Well, Cole, I think it is very important. You know, the youth, that's our future. You know, the ranks of trappers, we want to keep them strong. You know, we don't want to lose what we have. You know, it's a privilege. I mean, a lot of people, they think it's a right, but it's a privilege. And the thing about privileges, they can be taken away. So anytime that I have a chance to help a young kid or take them out trapping, or throw some lure their way or throw some traps their way to keep that fire in them going, I'm going to do it. Another great thing you can do, you can join your state associations in the National Trappers Association, and they do programs that really encourage the youth. So I guess I would stress to you, Cole, is anytime you're out there and you have a chance to get a kid out in the woods on a trap line, even just to watch, I think you do it and you're really going to solidify the heritage that we're all trying to keep. As the sun sets on the first season of Trapping Time, we hope you enjoyed it and was excited as much about Trapping Time as we were bringing it to you. And be sure to check us out next season. We got some big things in the works. Be sure to give us a like on Facebook at Trapping Time TV. And over the next 13 weeks, enjoy some of the reruns from Season 1. Also in January, when the reruns stop, be sure to check out our deer and turkey focus show, Game on TV. Same time, same place. Until next time, we're keeping the tradition alive here on Trapping Time. Remember to set your DVRs every Tuesday at 8:30 on Dish Network Channel 266. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at Trapping Time. I personally am going to list every week the conventions, the events we're going to be at. Also, we're going to be posting videos, anything trapping related that's going to make you a better trapper and help fuel your trapping addiction. I don't really know if this is what these were meant for, but it sure is a lot of fun.